What's up, guys? It's Ramon from NyneBlockGaming&Collectibles coming at you with another unboxing and review. Today I have the S.h.figuarts, the Phantom Menace, Jar Jar Binks. This was revealed on April Fool's Day, and people initially thought it was a joke because Jar Jar Binks just so happens to be not the most popular character, even though he might be the savior of the Phantom Menace. One thing I saw, whether it's true or not, I think it may be, is that this character design was done by Disney Studios when they took over Star Wars to be modeled after Goofy. And then I guess the whole thing was, how funny would it be for Goofy to be the savior of the movie, or a, planetary Goofy. That's just a little, conspiracy lore going into the character. But here you can see it comes in a shipper. It is not a premium Bandai. Maybe it was in Japan. With America, you could just order this. There was no American option or US option to be able to purchase this through premium Bandai, but there's plenty of things like One Piece figure lines that those characters are only purchasable in Japan or Asia through premium Bandai, but then here in the West we only get them through retail options. Sometimes we don't even get them in United States retail options. It's solely buying them from Japanese retailers that just so happen to buy the premium version. So there was the shipper. Here's our box. You can see Jar Jar Binks posed there walking. Over here on the side we have just a black and white Phantom Menace logo. On this side it's the same image. On the back you have multiple posed option, thumbs up, mouth open, mouth closed, eating a frog-like hand, and then him talking to a Jedi that, for whatever reason, I cannot put my tongue on to save my life. Christ. Guy that actually, brought up Obi-Wan and trained him, and I am drawing a blank. All I know is do not kidnap his daughter. Top of the package. I'll be right back with you guys as soon as I open this up. So here is our Jar Jar. Let me get my ridiculous wall that I need to remodel out of the picture. Here's our Jar Jar Binks. You can see this plastic piece here. This is to reduce paint rub. It's actually 2 pieces. Easy way of doing it. Get that out of there. One of the things is, here's how his feet are designed. There is no peg, and they seem to have slight issues standing up. You kind of have to work. If he just falls apart every time I bend him, even more difficult. But you kind of got to work with like the knees and stuff in order for him to stand correctly, because the feet are almost rounded, so it's slightly difficult to get him to stand. Paint apps, I think he looks great. This is a very soft rubber, so it is flexible for his butterfly joints and articulation. Overall design and paint apps, I think, look absolutely great. The only design issue, I think, are the feet. It's almost like the toes point out at the bottom, so it's difficult to stand. You can see him wobbling. So let's go over articulation. First, I'd like to show you guys his ears that both articulate. They go up that high. They can get twisted to the front. Now, I don't know why you would do this with them, but you can have them dangling in the front. They also twist here only slightly. That's as much range as you get out of them. Maybe a 22-degree turn, or 45. Sorry, it's about a 45. His head every single joint on this guy just wants to pop apart. Can only look down that far, up that high. So it's a double peg joint, this, and look, it just pops apart. Rather that than break, but arms, you have to maneuver a little bit with the joint in the socket to get him at a T-pose, but they go right to a T-pose. You do have this butterfly joint in there, if you can see that move. We don't have a bicep swivel, but it swivels on the peg up here, and then has swivel down here at this peg as well. So forearm and bicep move, and you can see I can rotate this 360 degrees. So it is, in a sense, a decent swivel. And then the wrist peg, standard Tamashii, full 360 movement. He gets a diaphragm joint that if you try moving it at all, he just pops apart. Is this backwards? Is this the issue? No, it surely looks like it's the correct way. Yeah. So you can rotate it fully 360 at both sections. And there he is. He bends down that far at the diaphragm, up that high at the diaphragm. This is using diaphragm and waist. You can see he has full swivel, and there is very slight side-to-side articulation. His leg, and we'll go over this leg, so it does kick out right to about a 90 degree. It seems like these are, yep, they're drop-down pegs. You can see in there. So they have drop-down pegs that enable it to go to 90 degrees. You get your rotation out of the hip at that peg, which is only slight. And he has a single jointed knee, but it bends past 90 degrees. Other than that, his feet do articulate, and they go up and back. I'm not sure, because of his pants, what type of joint this one right there. I figured it would come out easy, just like all the rest do. And you can see it's a double joint. So this joint in here moves around. Try to get that center again to put the foot back on. So that's how you will move those feet around. And now let's go over accessories. So the accessories we get is a head that has a mouth that can slightly open. Now another accessory we get, you can pull out the bottom jaw, and you get different options for Jar Jar here. One is his tongue hanging out, as we see here. And another is him eating the frog-like creature. That we have right here. So in order to do these head swaps, and I'll show you, there is an instructional manual for the head swaps here. This shows you how you change the jaws out and ears, and then some information on the back. So it shows you simply just pull these guys out. And they just peg right into the head. And you pop the head on. And we have Jar Jar eating. So the other additional hand options we have Slightly gripping on both sets. Where the hands that are on him are just a little more relaxed. And then we have his thumbs up. Do the swap. This peg is small, so just be careful, guys. See how tiny that guy is. And it's even a pain to get in. Let's see if I can get him standing. There Jar Jar is, very happy he got a meal. So overall, I'm going to rate this figure, and I don't think I'm going to rate it very good. And I'll explain why. This had a very premium price point attached to it. It was a very expensive figure. I think it was around $90. A, premium figure price point. And with those premium figure price points, I expect more out of the figure than we've got. Just two different jaw options, two heads and hands. And if I compare to something like the Jar Jar Binks from the Black Series, there was a deluxe version, and he came with all sorts of accessories that could be used with the figure. So I think this was around $98. I don't even think that was before shipping, so like $110 shipped for this figure, and single joint, knees, feet that have a hard time standing. It's just a difficult purchase to say it was worth it, especially for a character that so many people dislike. I enjoy it. I enjoy the figure. I just think it should have been, there's Darth Vaders with cloth capes now that are a cheaper price point than we are getting for like this Jar Jar Binks. So I like that I have him in my S.h.figuarts lineup. I suspect as this guy sits on the shelves after reviews come out that people are going to be dissatisfied, in which case he's probably going to go on sale for the remainder stock that a lot of these Japanese retailers have. So if you are planning on purchasing it, I would say hold off a bit. I have a feeling that you'll see some deep discounts on this guy, just as we had on, even though the Black Series Deluxe Jar Jar Binks was great in forms of the accessories, he still was a Ollie special for a long time at like $12 for what was originally a $40 figure. So I can only imagine a $100 version. Better overall design, but lacking in the accessories, that this guy is just going to be a cheaper figure. But if you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up. If you like my content, subscribe to the channel. If you find yourself always watching my content, hit that notification bell, be notified as I release. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Later.
I'm up on the 9 block where the gamers flock. Action figures and collectibles, we're the top stock. Marvel, DC, but DBZ is the main squeeze. Magic the Gathering, bringing you the ease. Card packs opening, reviews so tight. D9 Dice Gaming under the bright light. 9 block, the channel you gotta see. Gaming and Collectibles, we're the key. So hit that subscribe, join the crew. 9Block Gaming, we're coming through. Action figures, card games, we do it all on 9Block channel. We stand tall.